Hi everyone, and welcome to another Married to Reselling video. I'm Simon, and together with my wife Faye, we are a UK reselling couple selling mainly on eBay and Amazon. Coming up for you in today's video, there'll be sales from the barn as usual, but first I wanted to kick off with a sale that we've just had, and it's something that you've seen before and it got returned, and I want to talk about the circumstances that it got returned in and really expose the inconsistencies with the processes within eBay. So this is the sale that I wanted to show you. It's a mirror, there's you. And this has just sold for £42.49 plus heavy post, so around about £49 something. And it was purchased from a jumble sale. Now you've seen this mirror before if you watch all of our videos. It sold around about a month ago. It cost £1.50, sold for £49. Now the reason you've seen this before, it sold and I very carefully and diligently packed it up. And it got sent next day delivery and arrived absolutely fine, no problems at all. But then you get that message, don't you? You get that message pops up and you're like, no, not a mirror, anything but a mirror. I'm going to put this down because it's very distracting. So the message pops up, it was a return request, and the exact reason the person wanted to return it was that they weren't thinking clearly when they purchased it. Now instantly that's really disappointing, because if you know our responsibilities as business sellers, you'll know that you have to refund the whole purchase, so it's not a case that you can keep back the outgoing postage. It cost a fair bit to ship. Obviously the customer was charged for that postage, but that whole lot was gonna need to get refunded. And it's not so bad when the postage is £3.50, but when it's like £7 or £8, that's pretty frustrating. And especially frustrating when the customer basically said that they weren't thinking clearly when they ordered it. Anyway, could talk, everyone will have their own opinions on that. At the end of the day, customers got a right to return, and you just have to suck it up, don't you? So thankfully, in a lot of cases, customers just never bother returning stuff. And in this instance, they were provided a label from eBay, which they had to fund themselves because it was a change of mind return. But a week went past and the customer still hadn't sent it. The status on the return was waiting for buyer to send parcel. And I think nowadays they get something like, it's between 14 and 21 days or something ridiculous to send it back. They were very quick to open the return. It was within hours, minutes probably, of receiving it. So I was getting quite confident that they weren't actually going to send it back. The return case would just time out and that would be that. And the customer messaged us with a screenshot of a label, and it was an every label. And that's quite peculiar because that wasn't the label that eBay provided. So a few days went past and the return still hadn't turned up. So I thought, okay, is this customer playing games? Why would they not use the label that they provided? Why would they send a screenshot of a different label? And then after a few days, got a message from the customer. And the message basically said, like, I've sent the item back, where's my refund? I had a look and nothing had come back. I mean, obviously it's a big item. You'd know if that particular item had come back. They sent the tracking number for the label that they'd sent a screenshot of, and that tracking number came with a picture, and this was via Every, and the picture showed the parcel sitting in front of a green door. So we live in a village by a country estate, and all of the houses that are owned by that country estate, and there's other villages as well nearby, all of them have green doors. Every single house has a green door. It's the same green. It's like the stamp of that estate. Because the tracking wasn't in the case and therefore it hadn't been marked as received, delivered back to us, I said to the customer, look, I don't know where that's gone. All of the doors here look exactly the same. I'll see what I can find out. I'll ask the neighbours. I'll ask the immediate neighbours if they've got it. But unfortunately, one of the neighbours had gone away for quite a while, and they had someone coming in and out that we knew about that was feeding chickens and guinea pigs and rabbits and cats and dogs and squirrels and pheasants and whatever else they were feeding. And I think they came quite late at night, I think, but I don't know. So I went back to the customer and said, look, I don't know where it is. If it's gone to our immediate neighbour, it might have been taken in by someone that's popping in and out. If I see them, I'll collar them, find out and ask. A couple more days passed by and the customer was kind of saying, look, where's my refund? Where's my refund? And I'm just all the while thinking, look, it's a bit of a shame that you made the decision to buy something without really thinking about it. I'm very sorry about that. But at the end of the day, I haven't got the parcel back, and so I can't refund you yet until I found the parcel. Of course, there's that sort of nagging feeling that they probably didn't package it up very well. It's probably arrived smashed. It's with Every. I know you'll feel differently about Every, but I would never send a mirror with Every. I know many people do, but I just wouldn't do that. So I really need to find the parcel, and I need to inspect it and make sure it's intact, because if it's not intact, then I'm not applying a full refund. Top rated seller, you can refund up to 50% less. And that is exactly what I'd want to do. So I really just wasn't in the mood just to hand out a refund willy-nilly. So the next thing that happens is I notice a defect on the account for not resolving a case, and the item has been refunded by eBay and that money has been taken from us. So I'll get straight onto eBay and say, look, I think you made a mistake. You've refunded this customer. The item hasn't come back. The return case, up until before they closed it, was still showing waiting for customer to send the parcel. So I explained that, look, I think it's been delivered somewhere nearby. I can't access it. I know you can extend the return period and all that sort of stuff. So I just appreciate it if you give us a couple of more days to locate the parcel. It has not arrived back here yet, and I want to inspect it before the refund takes place. And this is where the inconsistency comes in. If you're an eBay seller, you'll know that in the event that you send a parcel out to a customer, you make a sale, you send them out the parcel, it's got tracking on it, it arrives, the tracking shows delivered, and in that event, if the customer opens an item not received case, eBay will look at that and say, okay, well, the tracking shows it's delivered. However, we'll take the customer's word for it, and they refund the customer, and the seller gets to keep the money. And that is a perk of being a top rated seller, I think. I don't know if they do it with non-top rated sellers, but that is a perk of being a top rated seller, that as long as your parcel shows it's delivered, eBay have got your back. Does that work the other way around? Apparently not. No, apparently not. So in the event that a customer sends a return which shows as delivered, but the seller claims, look, it's not been delivered, eBay aren't interested. eBay don't cover the seller for that. And it just makes you think, really. I had this conversation with eBay for Business over Facebook, and I said, look, and I know they hear this all the time, and it always sounds really cheesy when you say it, but it is important. I said, look, the account's over 20 years old. We're top rated seller. We've sold 15,000 items. We've got 100% feedback, or 99 point whatever it is. A couple of idiots, but we're not the couple of idiots. I mean, a couple of idiots that have left negative or neutral feedback or whatever. All the metrics are good on the account. Like, why won't you just take my word for it? Why won't you back me up and just give me, a few more days to investigate or whatever? Or if you do want to go ahead and refund the customer, then fine. But I prefer it wasn't out of our pocket. Now, we made a video recently about how much we love eBay, and we do love eBay. We released that video just before they judged the eBay for Business Award. It didn't work, but we gave it a try. Anyway, we do love eBay for many, many reasons, but I'm getting a bit bored of these inconsistencies. We had the defect thing recently. We've got presenters at eBay events telling people all the wrong information, and competition now is getting fierce for eBay. And I would just like them to do a little bit better. And I don't really understand why they wouldn't back a good seller, as many of us are, and many of you that are watching are, and I'm sure you've experienced these kind of issues yourselves as well. I just don't really understand it. One thing is for sure, that our eBay account has put way more money into eBay coffers than that particular buyer has, and I just feel like it's really, really unfair. But there we go. That's my little story about that. Let us know what you think in the comments. Sales from right here in the barn coming up.
Crate 10, a vintage Mason's Crabtree and Evelyn bathroom tumbler toothbrush holder. It's flowery, red, pinky colour and beige. It's like a little cylinder pot. That's the one. That cost 70p. Got it from auction, listed less than a month and sold for £12.52 plus post. Then on the desk already we have a vintage indoor plant pot. Blue floral, it's very delicate on there. There could be a couple of chipped petals, which I have declared. It's got a pretty scalloped top. That cost 70p as well from auction, listed a week and sold for £19.99 to a repeat buyer. Then we also have crate 11, vintage teapot, yellow, painted with flowers on it. That also cost 70p. And that sold for £13.39 plus post to a repeat buyer within a month. I think it's the same person, yes, that's bought that plant pot.
Made in England.
Yeah.
Oh, same person that bought that?
Yeah.
Oof.
Okay, then we've got a job lot of bike and cycling, motocross, scooter accessories on the shelf. Nice bit of Space Maid. That's it. In here is a load of stuff we got from auction. Paid £12.10 for it 2 months ago, and that sold for £30 plus post. Then we've got crate 7. Vintage Japanese tea set for 2. Eggshell, teapot, cup and saucers, milk jug.
Sounds fragile.
Yeah.
Don't like the sound of eggshell, is it, this one?
Yeah. That cost 70p as well from auction. Listed less than a month and sold for £20 and 9p plus post. And on the table we've got this Stagecoach bus shoulder bag. It's actually a shoulder bag, but we don't have the shoulder strap. That was declared in the listing. So it's Bus Company Stagecoach. That cost £2 from a car boot sale and sold for £24.99. Then we've got crate 24.
Yeah.
Vintage bisque Renaissance ornament, boy on a swing. This cost 20p from auction 8.5 months ago. It sold for £8.79 plus post to a repeat buyer.
Yeah.
Then we've got Art 38. There it is. It's a vintage still life of flowers signed. It's Dutch apparently. That cost £3.50 from auction a month and a half ago, and that sold for £125 plus post within a month and a half.
To a repeat buyer.
To a repeat buyer, and that's actually going to a darts company, as in throwing darts at a dartboard.
Hopefully they're not throwing darts at that.
No, and they've bought loads of our paintings, so thank you. Also on the table we've got a hat, a vintage ladies Right Impressions by Bill Horseman hat. That cost 70p, listed less than a week and sold for £9.99 plus post. That came on a job lot of Wedgwood Campion crockery from auction. It was a bit of a random one. It was on top, and then when we did a haul video of that lot, we some friends of ours who are resellers said that was our stuff, we put that in auction, but not the hat. So I don't know where the hat came from. And then we got home.
Yeah.
Photo frames times 3. What's on the top in your right hand? Oh no, okay. Oh, there they are, bundled together, I think. Oh, maybe not. There they are.
These?
Yeah, 3 there.
No.
Yes. Turn it over. Stop having a man look. Have a proper look.
Oh, a little one.
That was a very slow proper look. It's 3 just odd, random vintage photo frames. They cost 10p for the lot from auction. Listed 2 months ago and sold for £8 plus post. We have an Etsy sale.
Ooh.
My goodness. They're vintage coal pit cake decorations. 300 white candle holders in a plastic sealed box. They cost 28p. Got those 2 months ago and they sold for £12.99 plus loads of postage because they're going to America.
Yeah, $14.99 post, I think, which is probably about what they're going to cost. But I am going to put our international postage up a little bit on Etsy. The other day someone bought something and they paid $26.99, but the actual cost was $29 something. So to Australia that was. Right.
We've got a sale on the other site. It's in home. It's a vintage solid brass double photo frame in a box. The box is like a yellowy colour. I can see it. That's it.
Solid brass.
That cost £1 from a garage sale trail. Listed 2 weeks ago. Sold on the other site for £10 plus post. Within sort of 48 hours because I only cross-listed them the other day. Manually cross-listed. Okay, now back to eBay. On the table here we have a lamp. It's a vintage Marks and Spencer St Michael ginger jar table lamp in green. That cost £2 from a garage sale 2.5 months ago, or 3.5 months ago, sorry, and that sold for £23.44.
I think it actually sold before, but they didn't pay.
Crate 24.
Yeah.
Vintage Mayfair Alpine tea set, fine bone china. That cost 70p from auction. Listed within the last month and sold for £20 and 9p. Crate 22.
Yeah.
Vintage Baldelli cheese parmesan shaker, ceramic.
There's a lot of parmesan, isn't it?
Yeah. That cost £2 from a charity shop within the last month and sold for £18.
Quite cool, isn't it? Italy
Yeah.
flag.
Then on the desk we have Alhambra board game by Dirk Hen, original box, 2003, unused. That cost £3.49 from a charity shop, and that sold for £39 within a month and a half.
Yeah, it's opened, but everything's still unpunched.
Home. Vintage Prestige potato masher, rust fry, inox stainless steel.
I mean, what makes a potato masher a prestige potato masher?
Wow, who knows?
Pretty solid.
But that cost 70p from auction, and that sold for £11.38.
Oh, it's called Prestige as the brand.
Oh yeah, did you not know that?
No,
it's
I thought
quite
you
a
were
famous
just saying
brand.
it's, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were just saying
No.
it's a prestige potato masher.
And that
That's
sold
a
within
premium one.
that sold within a month. And then we've got, this hasn't got a crate number. That. It's around here somewhere. I've seen it. Then we've got these vintage Royal Delft porcelain tiles. 7 of them. They're all different apart from 2 which are the same. I spotted these, I think it was the first table at a car boot sale, and I asked the guy how much. He said £1. I was like, great, took them, and they sold for $69.99 within sort of 10 days. And I didn't even look at the box, but it says on the side Royal Delft. Okay, next up we've got this leather decanter, vintage bottle, folk art, red, blue, wrapped, woven. I think it's Eastern European. It cost £1.11 a year ago from auction and sold for £17.49. And then on here we have, in a box already wrapped, some Auto Glim vinyl and rubber care, 3 500ml spray action bottles. They were £1 each, so £3 total, from a garage sale a couple of weeks ago. And they sold for £25.99 plus post.
And they already sold. They sold once, so this is the same customer that's bought them because they were unable to be delivered. Now, when the customer bought this the first time, they added a message saying, please pack carefully and all that. Well, they forgot to put their house number on the address. So first thing we knew about it was the customer had said, oh, Roy, I might have sent it back to you. So I said, no worries, when it comes back, we will message you and relist it. So I relisted it. Last time I got free post. This time I added post, sent them the new link, made sure there was no promoted listing on it, and they clicked it and bought it. Because obviously I needed to do a refund. And that's everything, refunding everything. I know there's people out there that hold back the postage and stuff, but it's naughty. So yeah, you know, that at least it sort of covered their post. And there was something else I was going to say. I just thought, out of interest, I'm going to message eBay and ask them what's better: cancel as address incomplete when I sort of essentially did the refund for the first order, or refund. You know, what's better in terms of account health? And they said cancel as address incomplete. So that's what I did. Hope you enjoyed that video. Let us know in the comments what sort of inconsistencies you see on a daily or weekly basis on eBay. What are your gripes? You never know. Someone that can make a difference might just watch this video. Do you agree, disagree? Am I being unreasonable? We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.